In this episode, we're talking about just blocking out the noise and figuring out what you want. I feel like it's that time of the year where it's like we already set our goals for 2025, what exactly that we want. But then there's been a lot of noise and chatter because you're seeing other people's goals, people are getting things done, you're not, you're trying to change things up. But it's like it's all outside chatter. It's time to center ourselves and listen truly to the voice within. And I'm gonna guide you through it in this episode 9. I'll see you there. So we've talked about this before, blocking out the noise and removing societal expectations, family expectations from what you really want, and that it being completely okay for you to have different standards for your own life, different goals, even if it doesn't look like anybody else's. But I feel like I just need a refresher on this topic because it's like month 3 of 12, so it's like some people's goals have already been achieved, and it's like you're kind of shifting, you're changing, some of the things you're just working on is just not working out, and it's kind of like that little morale boost that I'm hoping will inspire someone to just like rekindle and be rejuvenated and rejoiced about going through their goals. And the first thing you have to do is just like get into your cave and block out all the noise, and then recenter yourself, realign yourself, figure out what exactly do you want, what exactly do you need. Write that down. When it comes to your career, are you still on the path that you want to be on? Your relationships, are you happy in them? Are they bringing you joy? Are they bringing the most positive person out of you? Whether it's your friendships or it's like things that are non-platonic or whatever, the situationships. Actually, just come to situationships. Those things are just not necessary in this 2025 because they just bring terror. But it's like, yeah, just kind of like focusing on listening to yourself more, trusting your gut, and just making sure that that self-doubt is just being silenced, and actually not even being silenced, is being addressed, because that's what we need to do in 2025. We need to address situations for what they are and like take the bull by the horns and write it down and figure out, okay, listen, so I'm having a problem with A, B, C, and D. Write them down and then find like a solution problem for that thing, even if it's not like an actual solution that you could do, but figure out, if you were to brainstorm and you had to like gun to your head, think of a solution, write it down, and they'll help you get the mind thinking of how you can like rephrase the problems that you're facing. The noise is coming from the outside, coming into you and seeing like, okay, actually, I don't really care about this thing. So all this noise and chatter about all this happening around me, I don't actually care about it. So just, ignore those comments. If people keep commenting and saying things about you that you don't really like, listen to the comment and then be like, but I don't really have an issue with myself or regarding that thing. Clearly, they just need some help. And that's none of your business. You know what I mean? Things like that. And it's just really good to always be in self-alignment and taking time to figure out what you want at various check-in points, because I feel like it's like a check-in point. We're checking in with how we were, with the goals that we set. We're checking in mentally and spiritually. How are we feeling? Was what we're striving for really good for us, or did we like the vibe? Do we like the way it looked? The vibe is off, or something like that. Just making sure we're always in vibe alignment, and it's like with life alignment, and we're just like all good. I'm feeling a lot of needing this episode and needing this alignment because I just got engaged, and all the people around me with good intentions are trying to like give me feedback, well, positive feedback, but they're trying to give me like suggestions on what the wedding should look like. It should be a destination wedding, it should be a traditional wedding, it should be this, it should be that. And I can see the positivity in all of this, but it's also like none of you have actually asked me what I want, And it's like, I just need to, and they're all really good suggestions where I can see like, okay, I can see why you think I would like that. It's a bit of me, but it's not really what I want. It's just like I'm being a little bit overwhelmed with the whole thing. So I just feel like I just needed to, well, I spent the whole day like kind of just creating a system and routine of like finding out what exactly do I want from this wedding, what exactly do I want from my career, what exactly do I want from this relationship, just clearing out my head. So I thought today's episode should be about alignment, should be about getting into the cave and then creating your own mini world within your cave, and just kind of having like soundproofing it out so that the outside noise doesn't seep in, because a lot of outside noise can cause doubt, can cause a lot of insecurity, it can cause a lot of like double checking yourself and wondering if what you're doing is good or not, wondering like it's just a lot of unnecessary negative thinking, you know. But if it's just like you in your cave in your world, and you just like press it out the noise, and you can like clearly see, okay, this is what I really want, this is what I don't want, this is what I really need, this is how I can achieve how this, you know, how can I achieve the things that I really want. Because in all honesty, we all know how to get to our goals. Maybe not like, it's not the most direct way, but we have a bit of an idea. And just taking time to like quiet down your mind and thinking about that like thoroughly, and then working towards that. Obviously, you're going to need other people that's going to bring in input. But if you set the direction, the course of where that idea is going to go, where your life is going to go, where this world that you're directing, how it's going to evolve outside of the cave in your mind, it really helps, because then you have like clear direction, and it just brings out your most authentic self. You know, it brings out the part of you that you see by yourself. You know, and it makes you feel, well, yes, in alignment, but it also makes you be you, and like your vibe is clear. Because once you're like a straightforward person, like no nonsense, like very strict person, people, they won't give you nonsense because they already know the standard that you produce. And if someone accidentally gives you nonsense, they're gonna learn that they can't give you nonsense. You know what I mean? Just setting those tones and like taking time to go back into the cave, blocking out the noise, you know, in the cave, creating a little world, and then you're like, okay, how are we gonna push this our little world inside our minds outside into the real world and project it through our vibe, through our actions, through our words? Because words are very important. The words that we select to use, the verbiage, the tone, everything. Like it portrays exactly who we are. Um, by not saying a lot. It can just be like even just the environments that you put yourself in. All those small little details, that those small little nuances, they create everything that you need for the world that's in your head to be outside of your head, and it to be like, okay, cool, I am now in alignment. The world in my head is outside of my head. It is now my life, and this is the life I've always wanted. So it's like one of those things, just like get a stop and realign yourself and just kind of figure out what I want, 2, what I don't want, 3, how I can stop the noise from seeping into my world. Because outside noise is going to slow you down, and you don't need to be slowed down. You don't need to be humbled. You don't need to be, just be delusional and do you. So I hope this episode really helped you to remember that you need to just focus on being yourself. Forget about the noise, forget about the judgment, forget about the tones. Get into the cave, write down what your wants are, your needs, and most importantly, what you do not want, what you don't want, what you don't tolerate anymore. And then just live by that. Live by the inside world. Live by your inside world's rules. Be like, okay, in my inside world, I like to do this. I don't like to do that. And live by it. And keep standards of those simple rules. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna love the way your life feels, because ever since I did that, I've been loving the way my life feels. And I hope it was a good episode. I'll see you in the next one next week. Bye.